cohorts, we have covered around 20 states in India, which is great, which means that's where all the change champions are. And that's how much traction we can expect as we go by. We are in touch with many of our cohort members. They reach out to us regularly, and we are very proud of the implementation that they have been taking up. We have invited them to today's session, and some of them have kindly taken time out and joined as well. And we also have some messages from them for you. After you complete this program, we will be putting you in one group or one WhatsApp group where one could interact. And we would also be having continual learning sessions where members from all the 3 cohorts could meet each other and share their experiences and learnings. Next slide, Jyotsna. So I want to start this with a little bit of a video. You see a desludging vehicle there, which has collected waste from a septic tank. And it is throwing all that waste into a water body, which goes into a drinking water canal. I want to show you one more video. You can see there is difference in color. This is wastewater coming from our kitchens, mixed water coming from our toilets, being let out into our lakes and other water bodies. Now, my question to all of you, and I would like you to please respond. I have 3 questions here. I'd like you to respond to these 3. Jyotsna, you can have the first. I want to understand, does this happen in your city? Have you seen these 2 instances? Great, we have already 40 members who have responded. Okay, so we've got about 50 respondents. We can share the results. So 76%, an overwhelming majority, says that unfortunately this does happen in our cities, in each of our cities. Some of you feel, which is a small percentage, feel that no, they don't think it does. And even smaller percentage, which is 6%, feel absolutely not. So it'll be wonderful, of course, to hear from those of you who have not witnessed this at all, to know which cities you're coming from. In the interest of time, right now, I will not ask you to open the mic, but it'll be wonderful if you could share some of your thoughts in the chat box. So those of you who have responded saying that you don't think this happens or it's absolutely not, perhaps you have witnessed better cities than what most of us have. And it'll be really nice if you could please put down some thoughts in the chat box to let us know if you've seen some great cities, which are those cities you're talking about. We can go to the next poll, Jyotsna. So the third poll is sanitation your hot favorite area of interest or not? Fantastic. I've got 4 responses and all of them have said yes. So the previous poll question was really to sensitize all of us about what we are really going to handle in this program. We are going to handle fecal waste and how we can safely manage it. We are going to handle gray water, which is the water coming from our kitchens and our bathing areas. How do we find comprehensive solutions and make a city sanitized? That is the focus of this training program or this course that we are all going to go through together. We can share the poll results, Jyotsna. So great. There are still a few people on the wall. I'm sure you will jump on the side of the yes or slowly becoming my favorite. And if it is still not, we will put our collective force to make sure that sanitation becomes your favorite topic. I will go to the next poll of this session. So we just wanted to know what is your current thinking about citywide inclusive sanitation. Do you think it is a goal that we aim for, or is it an approach, or is it just a fancy name? It's like old wine in a new bottle. It's very nice to see active participation. I mean, usually participants take some time. All of us, due to the pandemic, I think have become very, very comfortable with technology and usage. Great. So almost 62 members have shared the poll. It's going strong. Yeah. We can share the result, Joseph. Great. So I think all of you, most of you, but 67% feel that it is an approach. Safe sanitation, which is inclusive, which it touches everybody, is definitely a goal. Next slide, Josna. But when we talk in terms of citywide inclusive sanitation, what we are looking at is adopting this framework. And what does this framework say? The citywide inclusive sanitation lens or approach is different from a standard fecal sludge septage management approach because it looks at touching each and every person in the city. It looks at ensuring that we reach the services to the very vulnerable, to the very poor, in the same quality that we would reach the services to the ones who are better off in terms of financial and economic situation. It talks about providing services which are relevant and comfortable for use by, say, a person with special needs, children going and using public toilets, old people. So designing our services in such a way that they are equitable and they cater to the needs of different populations, whether it is transgender groups, children, people with special needs, etc. We are talking about having our focus on safe sanitation. So it is not just providing people with toilets, but ensuring that the containment systems, the septic tanks and the twin pits are actually constructed as per the standards and meeting the norms and regulations established by the national governments. It is talking about identifying which department, which unit is going to take up sanitation. Because oftentimes we find that we don't have separate utility looking at sanitation. It often gets submerged under the larger role. And it is a multi-departmental responsibility. However, when it comes to CVIS approach, we are trying to establish a very clear framework of who is responsible, what are the performance indicators when we say safe sanitation, who is to be held accountable about meeting or not meeting those performance indicators. How do we get finances for it? How do you earmark finances for sanitation so that it doesn't get utilized by other activities? How do you ring fence it? How do you build some kind of a revenue model so that sanitation services can become self-sustainable over a period of time, and many other things. So therefore, when we're talking about CVIS, we are not just talking about the right infrastructure for toilet containment or movement of the sludge or treatment only. We are also talking about this entire gamut of planning, building institutions, and ensuring that all the measures we take up are going to sustain even after your intervention is over. So this is the entire gamut, and these are the various aspects that we will be touching upon in our program. Next, please. So with that, I now hand over the mic to my program co-director and senior colleague, Professor Srinivas Chari, who comes with enormous amount of years of experience, who supports the national government in drafting their policies related to sanitation, who is a great teacher, and is known globally for his contributions to the sectors of water and sanitation. Professor Chari, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Malini. I would like to profoundly thank Dean Sonebe, Hashimoto-san, as well as Dr. Sitaram, and I'm sure a little later, Mr. Rajesh Rao, Secretary Niti Aayog, he would be joining. So thank you everyone for joining this inaugural session. Greatly appreciate for taking out time. Dr. Malini has already set the context, so I won't take much time. We will anyway have a lot of sessions, interactions in the future. I just like to make one just observation so that this is a mindset that we would be carrying throughout the program, and I would like all of us to follow that particular approach. I just share just a slide or two just to convey what I think is super important in this. I think the first and the foremost thing that we need to recognize is that sanitation is not just a service, it is a public health issue. And we have seen time and again that whenever sanitation gets compromised, public health collapses, the livability of the community, livability of the city, livability of the urban or rural badly gets impacted. So sanitation is not just shifting the problem or treating a particular component of the waste, it is about a public health issue. And that's what we are going to amplify time and again. Since it's a public health issue, the provision of safe sanitation is a public service, and it has to be led by the local government, and of course state and other national governments can provide that enabling support. So whether it is Bangladesh, whether it is Nepal, whether it is Africa, whether it is India, the universal principle is that sanitation has to be at the local level, and it's a responsibility of the local government, and provision of safe sanitation is a direct public health issue. It cannot be a private provision all the time. It is a public service, but it can be led through public-private partnerships and other mechanisms. Now, having said that, this course is all about how smartly, cost-effectively, and intelligently deliver this public service for public health. Whether we take a sewer approach, whether we take a non-sewer approach, whether we have a septic tanks under Swachh Bharat mission or any other national programs in respective countries, all of them are part of the public service delivery mechanism. We can't say it is a private provision because it has a public health implication. So this whole course is about how smartly and efficiently in a safe manner deliver this sanitation service, which is inclusive, means everybody covers, because if somebody is left out, the public health of the whole community will collapse. So it has to be citywide. And that's what the Japanese experience says. That's what some of the emerging economies experience is all about. And that's what we're going to bring to this particular course, how efficiently we can deliver this public service and public sanitation service in a cost-effective on a mission mode is what this course is all about. So thank you very much for joining, taking out your time. And we are going to interact with you with very practical examples and case studies for delivering this public sanitation service for public health. That is a slogan for us for the next couple of months and beyond. Over to you, Dr. Mal.
Thank you, President. I now invite Dr. Sitaram, our friend, our guide, our partner in this program and beyond. Dr. Sitaram is a senior consulting specialist for capacity building and training projects in the Asian Development Bank Institute, Tokyo. He is a true academic, a true researcher. He is an advisor to several organizations ranging in the areas ranging from spatial information science to railways, a true proponent of public policy. He supports the National University of Singapore and various other organizations. He's also worked on several projects as an expert with organizations like JICA and has deep knowledge of sanitation, not just in India, but across South Asia and African countries and beyond. So with these words, please join me in welcoming Dr. Sitaram to share his inaugural remarks.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Congratulations to colleagues from ASCII, particularly Professor Chari and Dr. Malini, for putting this course together. It's a third cohort. It's a big responsibility, so we appreciate the efforts that has gone into prepare this third cohort. The formal welcome from the Asian Development Bank Institute will be delivered by Dean Sonobe a little later. I look forward to working with you all. It will be 10 weeks, and you will be working mostly in the evenings and on Saturdays as well. So look forward to working together with you and hope this course will be useful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sitaram. Jyotsna, can you please put the slide deck? I think Dean Sonobe needs to leave, so we'll quickly like to introduce him and have him address the gathering, and then we can play the other videos. Thank you. I warmly welcome Professor Sonobe. He's the Dean and CEO of Asian Development Bank Institute, which is the Tokyo-based think tank of the Asian Development Bank. He has a PhD in economics and has been working on several aspects related to economic development, and he has led roles, particularly in the areas of industrial clusters, human capital, social capital, management practices, and market competition in industrial development in developing Asia and other regions. He's been our inspiration behind this course. And with these words, please join me in welcoming Dean Sonobe.
Thank you very much, Malini, for a very kind introduction. Yeah, so distinguished speakers and participants, colleagues, professors, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Warm welcome to the ASCII ADBI online course on leadership development for citywide inclusive sanitation. Dear participants, I appreciate your enthusiasm to learn more about the CWISE at cost of leisure time and the time being with your loved ones. The course will last next 10 weeks, during which you will be taking online self-study sessions and the live peer sessions on Wednesday and Saturday, while you are otherwise busy with your day job as government official. Why did you decide to take this hard course? A major reason would be that you expect a lot of benefit. I cannot 100% guarantee the benefit because it is eventually up to you whether you can get huge benefit or not. But I'm almost fully confident about the quality of service provided by ASCII and ADBI team. And I would like to express my sincere appreciation to your enormous amount of trust on both ASCII and ADBI. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm delighted that ASCII has been building on the success of the past two online programs held in November 2020 and June 2021. The first batch or cohort consisted of 44 participants, where 100% of those who responded to our participant survey rated the workshop as very satisfied or satisfied. The second cohort had 103 participants, where 100% of respondents noted that they would be able to apply the knowledge gained in the event in their work. I thank the ASCII and ADBI team for taking on board the feedback from the alumni from the first two cohorts to design the third cohort curriculum. Yes, thank you very much. So sanitation gaps are a global problem that continues to affect large segments of the population of developing Asia and the Pacific, despite the considerable progress made by the effort to address this problem in recent decades. Because of the COVID-19 crisis, these efforts have assumed increased importance. Making access to sanitation more inclusive or leaving it unequal as it has been is now an existential question. So governments, international organizations, and the private organizations have invested heavily in sanitation improvements in Asia and globally in recent decades. Unfortunately, however, the benefits for vulnerable groups such as the poor, women, and children have yet to be systematically captured. Accountability is an important but largely unexplored issue in public service delivery, particularly in urban sanitation. The authority, often the authority is a public or concessional utility. So those authorities in charge of providing services related to energy, water, or solid waste management has a mandate to ensure that services are available and safe. Compared with such public utility services, urban sanitation delivery is a public good, more vulnerable to free riding and the difficulty forcing users to pay the price, which makes collective actions imperative. That is, government officials, the private sector, and academics must play central roles in identifying ways to enhance sanitation service accountability. And as Professor Srinivas Chari just said, urban sanitation is not just public good, but it has direct implication for public health. So here, responsibility is even higher. Evidence-based research on sanitation pinpoints what progress has been achieved, where efforts are still lacking, and what types of programs work. New empirical evidence also provides a strong foundation on which practitioners and the policymakers can build future programs on sanitation and related sustainable development goals. There is also a need to better understand how to optimize sanitation service across households, taking into account prices, competition, and other supply-side factors. Dear participants, I sincerely hope you will gain global-level knowledge on sanitation from the interactive sessions. Learn about good practices of implementation in Asia from the virtual exhibitions, and exchange views on lessons learned from these experiences with the faculty and fellow participants. As I said earlier, I trust the course will be very useful to you for developing and implementing inclusive sanitation projects in your respective municipalities. Last but not least, I thank you very much, ASCII professors and their team, and Dr. Sitaram and other colleagues of mine at ADBI for putting this wonderful online course together. So participants, I wish you have a wonderful time in this course. Please feel free to share your experiences and ask critical questions to our invited speakers so you can learn more from their expertise and experiences and receive important advice on improving sanitation services. I stop here. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
thank you very much for your attention.
Dr. Sitaram, would you like to share a few more words before we have a small video prepared by Dr. Roshan as well as some of the alumni, but would you like to share a few more words after Dean Sonobe?
Well, he has already shared the formal comments. Maybe informally to supplement or to make it very clear, this course is really for you, each of the participants. As Dean Sonobe quipped in the beginning, we are happy, at the same time we are also eager to know why you committed 10 weeks to this course. But on a positive note, we really want to make sure that every hour that you commit is worth your time. So the course has been prepared in that way. And more importantly, as you have seen later, alumni will be speaking to you. The understanding of that is this course is not a start and end and you leave. We are with you. And we want to handhold you as you implement the actions, as it is an important responsibility now, as Dean Sonobe highlighted, that sanitation is now an important public responsibility. So please do reach out to us and consider us as your partner as you implement actions, deliver projects, so together we can declare success and celebrate later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sitaram. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dean Sonobe, once again for your warm words of encouragement, and we'll try our best as usual to make the time of each and every person's every hour worth it. Thank you very much. Jyotsna, let's quickly play a couple of messages from your alumni. They are here in the group. However, just to avoid the time lag of starting a video, stopping another one, we've just recorded their messages and they're here. Please interact with them in the chat room. You can play the video. Audio is not, we can't hear the audio. Jyotsna, we can't hear the audio.
Can you hear it now, ma'am?
No.
I'll share it.
No, it's not audible.
Now is it audible?
It's not audible, and even your volume on your computer seems to be on the lower side. And you have to check because Dr. Roshan's is also a recording. It's not audible.
Okay, just give me a second.
Yeah. Sorry about this. Please bear with us for a minute.
Is it audible?
Hello, I am Sujata, working as Municipal Commissioner, Amitpur. I enjoyed.
Oh, shit.
It was audible and visible earlier. Now we see your personal WhatsApp messages.
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is it visible now?
You have to go back from the beginning.
Hello and welcome all the participants of cohort 3.
Hello, I am Sujata, working as Municipal Commissioner Aminpur. I enjoyed the course on CWS and have implemented several learnings from the course. One initiative that I am particularly proud of is we organize the work of desludging operators. I welcome the participants of the next cohort and urge you to take the full advantage of the course. Thank you.
Hello and welcome all the participants of cohort 3 of Citywide Inclusive Sanitation Program. My name is Pankaj Mathur and I am the Water Sanitation Hygiene Specialist for UNICEF Madhya Pradesh, and I was part of the second cohort of the program. This program has really been very useful for us in implementing the fecal/septage management and the citywide inclusive sanitation initiatives in Madhya Pradesh, specifically in 2 ULBs and 2 bigger cities of Madhya Pradesh, and also, helping the Urban Development Department to scale up the fecal/septage management across the state. I urge all the participants of the cohort 3 to take full advantage of this course, because this is a good mix, a blend of basically technical as well as managerial aspects of the program, and it will also give you the practical aspect of the vehicle stress septage management and inclusive sanitation in the cities, which will be very helpful for your future endeavors. Thank you very much and all the best.
Hello everyone, I am Nagesh Patidar, WASH officer working with UNICEF Bhopal office. I really enjoyed the course on citywide inclusive sanitation, and I have used a lot of learning from this course in my current assignment. I am proud that I have been able to facilitate development of citywide inclusive sanitation plan for 2 ULBs in the state of Madhya Pradesh. I welcome all of you to the next cohort of this important course. Enjoy the learnings.
Hello, I am Mithilesh Kumar Mishra, Unit Head Knowledge and Planning, working for State Mission for Clean Ganga Uttar Pradesh, the Namami Gange program. I enjoyed the course on citywide inclusive sanitation and have implemented several of the learnings. One initiative that I am particularly proud of is planning and implementing integrated wastewater and stormwater management at a premise spread over 50 acres and for a population of around 2,000 heads. This initiative, which also includes sewage treatment based on Jokaso soil-based techniques, decentralized wastewater treatment, will lead to water recycling, reuse and better landscape areas. I welcome the participants of the next cohort and urge you to take full advantage of the course. Best of luck with good wishes.
Thank you, Shibil. I'd like to now introduce to you Dr. Roshan Shrestha. Unfortunately, he's traveling today. He had committed to be here, but he couldn't because of some change in flight timings. He sends his warm wishes to all of you. Dr. Roshan Shrestha is the Deputy Director of WASH with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He works extensively and his heart is in Bangladesh, Nepal, and in India. He is a hands-on professional and we learn so much from him. While he joined the foundation in 2012, over the past 9 years, he's got several opportunities and he has extended several opportunities to many organizations in Asian region to work on bringing sanitation improvements. A thorough professional, someone who brings a lot of technical expertise along with a human side. He has his focus on scaling citywide inclusive sanitation. He's a torchbearer and a guide for us. We have a small message for him, a recorded message which he recorded before boarding his flight.
hello, dear friends from different government officials from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and several other countries. I'm very happy to see that how this program is going to be organized by Administrative Staff College together with the Asian Development Bank Institute. So I'm sure this program is going to be very interesting. I personally also like to join a couple of sessions, but I really can't manage my time. So I'm sure you will learn a lot from this program because citywide inclusive sanitation is very much, the topic is very much necessary right now because we talk a lot about the infrastructure on the sanitation. I know a lot of fecal management movement is going on in India and the South Asian countries. And still, my feeling is a lot of things still is very much infrastructure focused because a lot of infrastructure program which is designed, our sanitation program which is designed by the government, by the different development bank. It is heavily infrastructure oriented. And sometimes we also see that, fecal source management itself is considered as a FSTP, fecal source treatment system. So this concept will not be driving what actually we want to achieve the sustainable development goal that is we all have committed because we need to go with a little bit different approaches because institutional reforms is very much critical. Operation maintenance issue is very much critical. Servicing for the poor is very much critical. At the same time, we also need to address the marginalized communities, including the women, girl, is also very much critical. That's why we need to go with a different approach. Citywide inclusive sanitation actually talks a lot about it: sustainability, safety, equity, and at the same time, how to reform the institutions to deliver sustainable sanitation. It's also discussed with this citywide inclusive sanitation program. I'm very much glad that Administrative Staff College ASCII is organizing this program because ASCII worked on this CWISE program since last several years. Like this, I'm sure it is more than 5 years. They're deeply involved in several cities in India, and they have a lot of professionals. They actually got all these, the field experiences from the ground, and these learnings are is very much interesting. We have Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We have established 8 CYCT globally. Out of that, 4 are only in India, and out of 4, ASCII is leading 2 citywide inclusive sanitation cities program in India. So that learning from ASCII is very much critical. So I'm sure the participants who are coming from India as well as from other countries, from South Asia, they will be very happy to understand the way how ASCII implemented CYs, and then we all will get benefit how to scale the learning that ASCII made in last 5 years, and we need to have a lot of this kind of training program. Especially, I'm very glad that I heard that in this program, more than 70% government officials they join the program, and also there are a couple of the development partners and also some academics. So I think role of all these sector stakeholders is very much important if we really need to scale CYs. And here, that's why this is not only running this training program, we also need to get very good feedback from participants because sometimes it might be very much theoretical and very much difficult to understand. And what I heard that in this program, ASCII has also invited so many professionals from government, from community stakeholder. They will be talking about their work. So it will be very much hands-on training program to all. I'm sure this kind of training program we need more. That's why we need a lot of feedback from yourself as well, because I'm sure ASCII will be designing quite a lot of this kind of training program in coming days. And also, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has also established regional capacity building hub based in Bangladesh. They also need a lot of inputs from this training program as well as from ASCII as well. So if we can get good feedback, then this curriculum, this training program can be customized as per need of the stakeholder, and we can develop a lot of different kind of the courses, curriculum as per need. And of course, nowadays the classroom training program is not really interesting, and the virtual training program really brings different approaches. So people can't really travel here and there, and then the way how the ASCII and other partners developing the small video clips are quite interesting. That really give new approaches to learn, and of course, more important is the discussion, getting feedback from learner, and at the same time improve the courses. This is going to happen by this program. So I would say this is going to be a kind of master training program. So your input will be very much critical for success of this session. And I have seen that the couple of the training programs that ASCII did in the past, and I met a couple of the government officials from Nepal and Bangladesh as well, and the way how they explain about the CUI is very much quite interesting. I met one colleague from Nepal last 2 months back. I was in Nepal. Then I met one of the government officials from Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, and he was very nicely explaining this CUI. Then I asked him, "Hey, where did you learn this?" And he said, "I joined the ASCII program." So this is one very good example that how if the government officials, they learn, and how they can really lead the process, because the person who is now leading this CUI program in Nepal, Mr. Chitrakar, he's really deeply involved in the process because he understood the context very well. So that's why I'm sure you have quite a large number of the government officials are joining here. They are our leader, because the CUI is a public sector or public driven approach. CUI is not like the NGO business, not like INGO or donor driven business. This is the fully public sector approach. So without public officials, without public sector engagement, we can't really make CUI successful, because government is always should be in driving seat, and with their involvement only the CUI can be scaled. So I'm very glad also to see here the partnership between Asian Development Bank Institute and Administrative Staff College. Both of the institutions are our capacity building partner. Asian Development Bank Institute has prepared so many knowledge products, and also they are very nicely, they have also organized several policy dialogue for both development banks as well as the government officials and practitioners. And the way how Asian Development Bank Institute has published or produced knowledge products is very much interesting. And those policy documents also will be highlighted in this training program. That's why the blending of the ASCII, who has deep knowledge in the field, who really involved in the last 5 years in the sector, working in the ground, and the Asian Development Bank Institute, who has deep engagement with the development partners, development banks, and the knowledge that they have, how to curate knowledge, is very interesting. That's why the blending of knowledge between the ASCII and the ADBI is going to be quite interesting outputs that you'll be producing from this program. It can be scaled. That's why I wish this program is great success. And I definitely I'm looking forward to meeting you all in some time when I come to different countries, and I really like to exchange your views and ideas, and looking forward to working with you. Thank you so much.
So that was a brief message from Dr. Roshan. He will, of course, be joining as a speaker during this program and share his vast experience with all of us. In the meanwhile, I think it's all the participants have been way too quiet, and it would be wonderful to just hear from some of you. Would please share, like Dr. Dean Sonobe. Dr. Rajeshwar Rao is here, I think. Good afternoon, Dr. Rao. Can you hear us, Dr. Rao?
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chari Garu. Good afternoon, Dr. Malini.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good to see you all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So you are traveling, I suppose, but you have given us time. Greatly appreciate. So Dr. Malini, please introduce Dr. Rao, a very key person at the national level.
Yes, I will. And thank you, Dr. Rao. As usual, you are the mover and shaker. Today, literally also, we see you in the car. My pleasure in introducing Dr. Rajeshwar Rao to all of you. He is currently the Special Secretary of Niti Aayog. He leads the urban development, managing urbanization, urban poverty alleviation, skill development, labor and employment verticals, among others. As an IS officer in his career spanning over 32 years, he has worked with several ministries contributing to women and child development, health and family welfare, and as a chief vigilance officer. And he's, of course, he makes us believe that his first love is urban development. He has rich experience not just in development administration, but also in organization and human resource development, finance and community development, and empowerment of self-help group, among others. As I said in the beginning, although it may have sounded in jest, he is a true mover and shaker, and he brings really innovative ideas and implements them too. So Dr. Rao, thank you once again for sparing time for us. We have amongst us in this batch about 97 participants from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Burkina Faso. And more than 60%, 70% of them are municipal officials and senior engineers and health professionals. Some are academics and some are development professionals. Over to you, Dr. Rao.
Good afternoon, friends. I compliment ASCI, Professor Chari, Dr. Malini, and colleagues, ADBI, Professor Sonabe, Dean and CEO, ADBI, Dr. Sitaram, who has been earlier in touch with us, Dr. Hashimoto, advisor, and BMGF, Dr. Roshan Srestha, for launching this online certification program in leadership development for citywide inclusive sanitation. From Niti Aayog and GOA perspective, I can say that initiative is not only relevant, but also timely. And I'm traveling from now Puri to Bhubaneswar after interacting with about 45 municipal commissioners and pollution control board officials last 2 days on plastic waste management, and also the sanitation issues are there. So I know what are the sentiments expressed by these people and how important is the inclusive sanitation to the municipal managers, because they are aware, they have realized the importance, but professional management, systematic planning, and organizing the men and women along with missionary are the challenges. And this course perhaps gives the best possible opportunity while getting not disturbed by their routine and daily work. And I also invite the colleagues from Bangladesh, Amar Shubkamna, Bangabandhura, our Nepal, Africa, and also other colleagues from the various states. So this is a second edition, I think this is a third edition if I remember. And ASCI relentlessly making efforts to gain the traction and also to involve the municipal functionaries, which is a very a remarkable thing, because sanitation is not a one-time activity; it's a continuous and regular activity, and the regular improvements is perhaps the very essential feature of the sanitation management. Friends, in Niti Aayog, we have been working with the various state governments and municipal commissioners, and ASCII is very closely associated, and ADBI also we want to have a more and more engagement on this issue. So there are knowledge instruments are already available, published by Niti Aayog, ASCII, and it is also an opportunity for the participants in the course to see these knowledge instruments, how they can use these instruments, including fecal sludge management, plastic waste management, waste to wealth. These are the perhaps essential things. I happened to meet the Konark commissioner and Puri commissioners. Because of the high turnaround of the pilgrims and also the plastic waste generation, with a proactive planning, perhaps they could maintain the city sanitation very, very effectively. With 72 lakh new toilets added in urban areas and about 8.4 crore toilets in the rural areas under SBM, the FSSM perhaps gains a very important attention, and not only for the sanitation, but also for the employment generation and also the waste to wealth concepts. And here I could see the very potential involvement of the self-help groups and also the corporates. In the last meeting, in the last interaction with the southern states, municipal commissioners were mentioning about the lack of knowledge or deep association of the elected representatives. So perhaps this inclusive sanitation will be effective only when we also take the elected representatives along, and also making them aware and realize the potentiality of the sanitation and also the solid waste management. And since you will be discussing a lot of best practices and you are all practitioners, I'm sure that it is Professor Chari must have made it as highly participatory, where it is a two-way communication, where certain management principles are mentioned, best experience are mentioned, where the participants also can happily get back to them with the reactions and also adding their experiences, so that this will become a collective learning, collective sharing of experiences, and also constantly trying to improve the sanitation management in the cities as city managers. So I'm sure to understand, and also I want to be very sure that I will get the feedback after the end of the course, so that that feedback also would be useful in planning other training courses in the near future. Charigar, thank you very much for making special efforts involving all these municipal practitioners from the city governments, from the state governments, and also the ADBI is actively involved, BMGF is actively involved. Perhaps we can have frequently this course also. In the context of the COVID situation, the city sanitation management is becoming more and more challenging and important. And these trainings, these discussions and this exposure perhaps will prepare the municipal managers in a better way to tackle the sanitation and the spread of best practices. Thank you very much, and happy to spare my brief time with you all, the colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. I think we are going to, in fact, the document that was prepared by Niti under your leadership, the business models, will be extensively discussed with all the practitioners in this course, because the document that you have led has a lot of global as well as Indian experiences. So we have case study approach of learning. As you rightly said, this whole course is about for the practitioners from the practitioner's lens. So we would follow your guidance. And once again, on behalf of ADBI, on behalf of all the participants and ASCII, I would like to profoundly thank you for taking out your time, especially when you are on your official visit to Puri and Orissa. So for taking out your time on the move. Thank you very much. Dr. Malini, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought now it's time to allow the participants to share a few words. I don't want them to think that it will always be a one-way traffic like this. So some words from participants would be nice. I see, Sumagaru, you have put 2 messages, one earlier and one now. Would you like to just open up your mic and ask your or make your point about elected representatives that you have mentioned here? We can't hear you, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, we can't hear you.
I think you need to unmute, ma'am.
She's unmuted only, sir, but something has to be connected on her end. We'll just give it a minute and then. Suma ma'am, we still can't hear you. We'll come back to you. Why don't you get someone to fix the audio and we'll come back to you, ma'am. Okay, great. That's the advantage of having the video on. We can talk through sign language also. We'll wait for you, ma'am. Get your audio fixed. And in the meanwhile, we'll request some other members. Earlier, some members have nominated their names to speak. So I'll first call upon them and then the others can please speak. Ms. Rosie, would you like to share something? Ms. Rosie Singh is from Nepal.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity, ma'am. A very good afternoon and namaste to all. I'm Rosie Singh from Nepal. It's been almost 19 years that I've been working in the development field in various capacities. Currently, I'm working as project manager at Environment and Public Health Organization, ENPO, and leading one of the sanitation projects in Nepal. ENPO is a non-governmental organization which has been working in Nepal since past 30 years in the sector of safe water, sustainable sanitation, disaster risk reduction, emergency wash, nutrition, and capacity building in these areas. At present, ENPO is implementing various projects on capacity building on city-wide inclusive sanitation, along with advocacy activities, and also implementing FSM standard in Nepal. Through this training, I am very thankful and expect to obtain knowledge about city-wide inclusive sanitation to further implement in the projects and programs to achieve effective and sustainable results in communities. I'm extremely glad and excited to join this training. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We look forward to learning from you as well as your other colleagues during this entire program. And starting from the next session, we will be requesting you to share the context of sanitation in Nepal so that all the other participants are able to appreciate the situation and the initiatives that are being taken by the country. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sure, thank you.
I request now maybe Ms. Fariha Rahman. She's from ITN Butte, Bangladesh. She's joined by several of her colleagues. Mr. Sharif is also here. And they are also going to initiate programs on citywide inclusive sanitation for several officers in Bangladesh. Ms. Fariha, are you here?
Thank you. Very good afternoon to you all. I feel really lucky to join this program with all the sector experts, and I think it is a great opportunity for young professionals like us to have some knowledge exchange experience in there. So ITN Butte is a center of Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. We are now implementing scaling and sanitation innovation project which focuses on the capacity building, not only in Bangladesh, but also for South Asia or other regions. Like Info is one of our partners in implementing the project. So as the CB Hub of South Asia, we are really interested in learning the captures the learning from others and from good practices, and of course some knowledge sharing. So I think
Pute komtir ka tuma pute hi khonge omni.
So I believe that the training will be a great platform for this. And also as an engineer, personally, I am interested to know the technologies that will be discussed. And also I think networking will be a great agenda for me. And thank you all for hearing patiently.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Fariyaji. We'll try our best. We have lined up a lot of exposure to technology, both in terms of containment, transportation, fecal/treatment, co-treatment, decentralized treatment systems, nature-based systems. We also would be very happy to bring a lot of startups and innovators in this space who are coming up with some brilliant ideas. Some of them piloted, some of them in the initial stage of a post-pilot implementation scale-up. So we'll be very happy. We'll be bringing these innovators to you. So thank you very much and for sharing your expectations and for being here. Maybe we could have someone from India now. Could I request Mr. Andrew from Mizoram? He is from the Urban Development and Poverty Alleviation Department. Mr. Andrew, over to you.
Yes. Hi, hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrew Lalfruaya, working in Urban Development Department, Government of Mizoram, and I had experience of 20 years in urban affairs, including sanitation. As we are all aware that sanitation, including this sewerage septic management, is nowadays really a global challenge. If we are an engineer or a town planner or administrator or a researcher, for all of us, it is really a challenge. I hope through this training, I hope and expected that through this training, we could improve our knowledge, and that could be translated to the ground, to the people, and we could also have a learning, sharing experience so that one can benefit from others. I am very much thankful to ASCII and ADBI for organizing this kind of program. I wish all the participants, including myself, a good luck. Thank you. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. I like that last touch of yours where you're wishing yourself good luck. Don't worry, you're in safe hands. We'll take care. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. May I now request someone from down south, maybe from Kerala, Mr. Praveen. He's working with Suchitwa Mission. Mr. Praveen, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, myself, Praveen. I'm working as Director Liquid Waste Management in Suchitwa Mission. It's a technical support group to the local self-government department. I will just share what is the experience in Kerala and what are the issues we are facing and what we are planning to do. As we all know, when we started the Swachh Bharat Mission 1, the aim was to achieve ODF by 2019. And Kerala achieved the status in 2016 itself, becoming the third state in the country to achieve the ODF status much ahead of the targeted time. And if we compare the demography, geography, and social conditions of Kerala with the other two states that have completed the ODF status ahead of Kerala, you can see that is Sikkim and Himachal Pradesh. You can see that the state of Kerala, what the achievement was indeed a commendable one because of the geographical condition, a long stretch of coastal line. With all these limitations, Kerala could achieve that status well ahead of time. And if we consider the network sewerage, history of network sewerage management in India, Again, Kerala had a history of having one of the oldest sewer networks in the country. There in Trivandrum, which has been designed in 1937, much before even the state of Kerala was formed, and even before the India attained independence. Then the state has also brought out a state sanitation strategy in which human development outcomes are marked as indicators as a measure of the investment in sanitation area. But though these are remarkable achievements in the sanitation sector, if you take the wholesome picture, indicates that the interventions remain low, uneven, and incremental, and mostly focused on expanding the centralized network infrastructure to a 100% network sewer method. Another point is that the focus was more on a technological perspective rather than service delivery outcomes, equitable access, safe disposal, etc. And if you consider the census 2011, Kerala is one of the most urbanized states in India. Even it is ahead of Maharashtra in the urbanization. And if you consider the census counts and outgrowth, all those things, almost 50% population is living in the urban area. With that population, the citywide sanitation becomes both a challenge and an opportunity. And the main concerns we are having is that oversight of on-site sanitation, and with limited septage and fecal site management facilities, and with inadequate regulations with private players on the field, illegal dumping happens, and it is a series of concern of public health, as you already mentioned. Then the narrow roads, high density of buildings, rolling terrain, high gradients, or high water table, all these poses a threat to the technological solutions what we are planning. Then, despite the fact that total sanitation in the wholesome sense is far from achieved, the area of liquid waste management seems to be ignored and does not appear prominently on the LSEA programs. Hence, realizing all these facts, the government of Kerala is going to launch a massive campaign accompanied by interventions backed by technical support, which can fix these problems. So we hope that already the workshop has been conducted, nationwide workshop has been conducted to discuss and finalize alternate technology options like nature-based solutions, etc. To support this campaign program, and we are going to start the campaign program by the end of March. And we hope that the mix of approach diverse solutions to different parts of the same city, depending on the various factors and different management practices for the whole sanitation chain, we could able to move and achieve the target of all-inclusive sanitation. We have already started preparing city sanitation action plans. So we hope to achieve this within a span of another 4 to 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And we have Mr. Praveen joined by another 6 of his colleagues. I see Mr. Jyotish there and many others from Suchitwa Mission. We look forward to learning a lot from Kerala, broadly about sanitation, of course, but also we would love to understand about how you bring so much inclusion and women empowerment into every activity that you take up, including sanitation. Similarly, we have Dr. Rath from Odisha, who's the director of Odisha Water Academy, and Odisha is also known for inclusive pro-poor approaches. So I think these are integral to citywide inclusive sanitation, and we would definitely extensively learn from them. I see Dr. Hashimoto is sitting here. And I want to request Dr. Hashimoto to please, I'm sorry for taking you by surprise, sir, but if you would just like to say a couple of words to all our participants.
Okay, yeah, it is. My name is Hashimoto. This is my great pleasure to be here. And I am expecting to discuss the matters on next Sunday, next Sunday. Is it Sunday? No, Saturday.
The coming Saturday.
Yeah, I'll speak on the institutional framework issues. So let's discuss the matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I see a hand up there. I'm sorry, I'm not able to pronounce the name correctly. So I'm just going to ask, it starts with Lalro Laungi. Pardon my pronunciation. I see a hand up. Okay. So in case you'd like to, yeah, would you like to speak? Okay, you just put the hand down. All right, maybe by mistake. Okay, so now let's hear for one or two other participants before we move on to the more serious stuff of what will be learning, what is expected out of you, how much you should read. Before we get down to the scary stuff, a few more words from participants. May I request Mr. Khan Rabani from Bangladesh to please share a few words, expectations. Dr. Rat, I'll call upon you after.
Thank you, Dr. Malini, for giving me the opportunity. I am Khan Mohammad Ghulam Rabbani, working as Executive Engineer in the Department of Public Health Engineering of Bangladesh. Currently, I am working as Project Manager in the 3rd Urban Governance and Infrastructure Improvement Sector Project, which is basically an urban project where 36 municipalities we covered in this project. In this project, we have solid waste management as well as fecal sludge management. In the solid waste management, we are already constructing 26 sanitary landfills and 25 fecal sludge treatment plants. Regarding sanitation, we already adopting the integrated approach that I have already said, that solid waste management and fecal sludge management. We all know that Bangladesh has already achieved regarding the sanitation coverage, I should say. Already we have achieved the ODF status, but we have to achieve the safely managed sanitation. For that reason, I think it will be a great platform of this training program to learn about the Swiss approach so that we can move forward. And I am greatly honored to be a participant of this 3rd cohort. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Rath, would you like to say something? Your hand is up, Dr. Rath.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's absolutely a pleasure to see so many participants drawn from. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Please go on.
Okay. So it's wonderful to see so many participants, coming from different countries, Nepal, Bangladesh, and down south, different states. And it's a great experience, in fact, listening to, the domain experts. And I thank the team of ASCII, led by Professor Chari and Malini Reddy, to have brought all this together for us. A great learning experience. And today morning, I came back from Puri, in fact, after receiving Dr. Rajeswar Rao. He was in Puri, so we rushed to, early morning, we rushed to receive him. He was very keen to see the Drink from Tap mission project in Puri. So that is how you saw him coming back from Puri and giving his keynote address. And about me, I'm Shantanu Rath, I'm Director, Odisha Water Academy. And Odisha government has set up this academy exclusively for strengthening capacity building and training of different personnel stakeholders of water and sanitation sectors. And we are extremely also privileged to also tell everyone here that we have also joined hands with ASCII as one of our knowledge partner to bring many such knowledge sharing events together. And Odisha is also known for its very unique experiment in sanitation, upholding the dignity and of sanitation workers as Garima. And in fact, we are trying to do many things together. I'm a bit new to this sector. I am also on a learning journey. So I'm looking forward to learning more from different colleagues and also share some of my experience in the meantime once I document it. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sumaji, how are you doing with the audio? Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you still. You'll have to type today. Why don't you try another device like your phone or something? No, we can't hear you, Sumaji. We'll have. Why don't you just type and we will benefit from what you type? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. May I now bring an academic after Dr. Shantanu, who is the director of an institute. We should bring a pure academic and hear from them as to why they're joining this course, what do they look forward to learning, because they are the ones who are going to bring the future generation into CVS program. I'm going to call upon Professor Shankar Ganesh from BITS Pilani to please say a few words.
Yeah, good afternoon all. Namaste. So it's a great pleasure as part of this program. So I am Professor Shankar Ganesh. I am an associate professor of environmental biotechnology at Birla Institute of Technology and Science, which is called as BITS Pilani, but from the Hyderabad campus. So my research area is waste and wastewater treatment, especially focusing on the anaerobic digestion, design models, as well as on exploring what are the various substrates that can be subjected to biomethylation. So off late, like some 5 years back, I started interest on the fecal sludge management after I got a project from BIRAC, the SPARSH project on co-digestion of fecal sludge along with landfill leachate. I've been in touch with ASCII. Recently, I attended the faculty development program and sometime back the ink at WASH. So these were very, very interesting. And I sincerely thank the ASCII team for giving us this opportunity. I look forward various verticals which are part of this program, especially on the designing on-site sanitation systems, including the containment, emptying, and transportation. And of course, my own domain area on the treatment technologies. So I wish all the best, all the participants here. So because many of them are from Tamil Nadu, I can also refer a movie called as Thiruvilayadal, where Lord Shiva comes and as a poet and want to test another poet. So he asks, should I ask the question or you will ask the question? He says, no answering, only questions. So similarly, we have been asking questions to the students. So now it's time for us to answer. So we look forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shankar. And Professor Shankar is joined by another strong team of almost 11 to 12 academics from brilliant institutions. Of course, given the time, we can't have everyone speaking, but we so look forward to all this next generation students coming and working alongside city professionals, helping them, putting a nice research framework, a good technical support team to all the cities. So thank you very much to all the academics who have joined this program. And I think we have time for maybe one or two more. I'm going to first call upon Mr. Srinivasu from Swachandra Corporation. After that, if anybody else would like, just raise your hand. We'll call upon you to speak. As per the agenda, we've got another 5-7 minutes for this session. So Mr. Srinivasu, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I am Srinivas from Swachandra Corporation. I am working from 1.5 years as a sanitation hygienic technical coordinator. Previously worked as a environmental health and safety in pharma sector. I have interest in sanitation section. I want to help to people who are suffering from these difficulties in solid or liquid waste management. That's why I want to change this section. I have enjoyed my work, and in this section, they will help to the ground reality problems is the new technologies and this type of technologies may help to resolve the ground problems. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Swachandra Corporation is the nodal organization in Andhra Pradesh, which looks at sanitation in a comprehensive manner, from solid as well as liquid waste management, capacity building. And therefore, for all of us who are working in citywide inclusive sanitation, it's a unique initiative, as Professor Chari has mentioned, for us to understand that what is the merit of having a department exclusively working on sanitation and looking at monitoring it, looking at improvements, looking at comprehensive solutions. So we have a lot to learn from a team from Swachh Andhra Corporation. We have 5 strong professionals joining us, and we look forward to learning a lot from you, Mr. Srinivas, and your colleagues. Thank you so much. Would any of the other participants like to share something? Anyone would like to say anything? You can just raise your hand and we can open up. I see one hand raised. Yeah, Dr. Ravi, would you like to say something?
So good afternoon, everyone. So I am Dr. Ravi Shankar. I am working in the area of environmental systems planning, sustainable thinking and life cycle assessment. So typically in my area of research, when I try to go on to the applied research, integrating industry, institute and academia gives us a very big role in developing the systems. So, but getting a time out of a key persons who are working on the field or an industry level gives us, it's like, it takes a lot of time for them to come out. But coming on to this program where everybody spends a lot of time, so my expectations after this program is to identify what are the potential bottlenecks that we have on the real-time field, so which will help us in identifying the key research gaps and develop different systems so that we can translate as into our classrooms, as well as do some sort of research internships as well as research projects, and come up with small ideas that can bring inclusiveness into our environmental systems. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else would like to say anything? Okay. So thank you, all of you, for sharing your expectations. And of course, we've also shared a link with you in the WhatsApp group, wherein you can place any other comments, questions, and all of us can interact using that. So now I'm going to request Jyotsna to please put on the slide deck. I'm going to wear my teacher hat now. I'm going to start being a little strict. We'll have to, because you know, it's not easy to manage 96 senior officials from across countries who are very busy professionals. So we need to bring in some discipline, and we need to find time to be able to meet and share and exchange and learn. So so we will keep troubling you for various things. Let's start with a couple of poll questions to understand and change and come to a common mindset. And then I will take you through what this course offers and how we will organize ourselves over the next few weeks that we are together in this course. Jyotsna, you can put up the poll question. Thank you. So the question here is, you have to answer this truthfully. Which of the following have you done while attending an online meeting? You have to be truthful. We are, after all, we are all a group, collective. I see only one person who is truthful, who is saying all the above.
None is matching.
None is racing ahead. Therefore, I am thinking people are not being truthful. Okay, so let's have the poll results. Great. So eating lunch seems to be the most favorite pastime alongside meetings, online meetings. Fortunately, all our sessions are post-lunch sessions, so you won't have an opportunity. The reason I'm asking you this is to once again reiterate the importance of having your video on, because if you keep your video on, you will be more conscious. You will not multitask. The temptation to multitask will not be there. In fact, there is a suggestion that, like you have Swachh Kosh, we should have a CVIS Kosh, so that whoever doesn't have the video on will drop $100 into that as a penalty so that all of us are together. So please keep your video on during the sessions. Next poll question. This is an important question because there is a lot of material that is available in this course, and we need to find some time to be able to read and listen to the material that is shared, that is developed for you and shared with you in this course. So how much time do you devote to general reading? Not what you do for your work, but general reading for personal development. I see the responses at the back end. They seem to be quite a divided group. There's no pattern. Okay, we can share the results. Almost 50% have given. So we seem to have a mix of participants here. 28%, it's almost an equal split. So our request to you is you will need to keep some time, and we are trying our best to, we have kept in mind that you're all working professionals, you can't find so much time. So what we have done is we have recorded the classroom sessions. So from the previous cohorts, we have recorded the sessions and made them into small videos, which we will be posting in the WhatsApp group. So if we have a session on, say, Wednesday, whatever videos you need to see, definitely see, we will place it in the WhatsApp group. So you must watch at least those before you come to the session, because the 1.5 hours of time that we have together, we would like to use it for exchange. We would like to use it for discussion rather than be on a lecture mode. If you do not find time to go through the videos, it will be very difficult for you to follow what is happening in the class because everybody is already in the discussion mode. Therefore, please do find some time. You'll have to compromise on your Netflix and Amazon Primes and other things a little bit and watch the videos related to this session for some time. Just now we'll go to the next slide. So let me quickly take you through what this course is all about. And I would start by saying that after going through the next 10-15 minutes of what we are talking, if you feel that there is something that is left out and you would like us to incorporate that, please feel free to put it in the chat box. We will be most happy to find a way of including whatever you would want us to, because it is important that you go from this course thinking you have, you're enriched in the areas where you felt you needed some more information. So feel free to please put down your comments. Even otherwise, please feel free to put down your comments in the chat box while I take you through this next couple of slides. So the objective of this course really is to create change champions. So we would like to share information with you about different technologies, different processes, different planning tools. We are very open in sharing information. We will share all the toolboxes with you so that you can implement it. We would also bring exposure to you through different interaction with different senior officials. And our intention really is to convert you into a change champion. You're already working in this space, but we want you to we want to see you as someone who's implementing these, and not just implementing, which would be walk the talk, but actually spreading the word about CVIS and creating more champions. So in that sense, what Dr. Rajeshwar Rao said is very true. This is more of trainer program really than a training program, where we're building change champions for you to take this message forward and take the implementation forward. Next slide, please. So the program has a total of 13 modules. We will be taking you through extensive examples of cities which have attempted to apply the principles of citywide inclusive sanitation. We will discuss how, what are the challenges they are facing, What are the measures they have taken to overcome these challenges? How are they planning for improving sanitation? We would also discuss what are the different standards as required by regulatory bodies, as required in different countries, so that all of us can align our technology choices to the standards of treated biosolids or treated wastewater as required in the country. We are also looking at bringing in extensive amount of focus on inclusive. How do we have pro-poor strategies? How do we bring women and other genders, vulnerable groups into the fold, not just as a beneficiary, but also as part of decision-making process, and also as part of service delivery process? What are the good models? What can we learn from them? How do we apply them in our own context? Of course, planning tools, identifying different types of technologies in containment, emptying, transport, sanitation worker safety programs. What are the measures we can take? What are the innovations that are happening for mechanizing that aspect of the value chain of fecal sludge management? What are the treatment technologies, starting from very nature-based, low-cost, to very compact, high-tech technology solutions? How do these compare in terms of cost? How do they compare in terms of land footprint? How do they compare in terms of pathogen kill? So these are the discussions that we will be taking. We'll be bringing technology providers, sharing unit operations, sharing costing details with you, so that you can plan in an informed manner. We have substantial amount of emphasis on the art and science of behavior change. So we would have team members coming here and discussing how one should implement sanitation behavior change programs. It's not just coming up with communication material, but how do you plan a campaign? How do you assess the impact of your campaign? How do you take the lessons and loop them back so that your campaigns are effective? We have also invited someone to come and speak to you about use of digital technologies, particularly for understanding and bringing the voices of community to us, because usually digital is used as a one-way medium from us to communicate to the community. But how do we get their voices to us using digital technologies so that we understand the mindset, and that also feeds in, acts as a feedback mechanism for us to improve our communication strategies for bringing behavior change. Jyotsna, next slide. We have a full day workshop, and this would be on a Saturday on innovations and sanitation enterprise. Essentially, this was a module which is developed by iSchool in Japan, and they've been kind enough to train us in using this innovation workshop methodology. So we will be dividing ourselves into groups and thinking of one of the various challenges in sanitation, and identifying one challenge and developing an enterprise around it so that it is a viable enterprise. And Dr. Sitaram also brings in a professional from a field. He's a venture capitalist who will be evaluating these enterprise and business models to say which one will work, which one will not work, and what further work one needs to do in order to create a sustainable sanitation enterprise. So this is particularly useful for us because when we are making sanitation implementation, oftentimes the question that comes to our mind is, how do I probably use reuse models so that my interventions are sustainable? How can I charge the community? For what can I charge? Where are my revenue sources? So this puts us in that thinking mode, problem solving mode. We also have sessions on monitoring and evaluation and benchmarking, which are very important, because how do we know that we are moving towards becoming a CVIS city? So what are those indicators of success? So that's very important for us to keep in mind. While the session is planned towards the end of the course, which is module 11, we will be referring to these indicators throughout so that we build towards that, and then we move towards a measurement. There's also a toolbox available, a readily available tool which you can implement in your cities. Athena, an organization which has been working on this for years, will be coming and taking this session and sharing the toolbox with you. We would then discuss about different financing models, and we would, while we bring you experiences from India, we would love to hear the experiences from other countries and share this information. We will speak extensively on public-private partnership models. What are the nuances? How do you bring private participation? What are the different ways that different cities are raising funds for sanitation in a way that it is sustainable? To Ms. Suma's point about elected representatives in sustaining CVIS, we have planned for a panel discussion with only elected representatives from different parts of the country as well as outside, just to understand their mindset. Because all of us work in cities and we know that political will, political commitment is so important. But if we listen to them, we understand their mindset, collectively we can devise some approaches for how do we bring advocacy for our political leaders to support the CVIS initiatives. At the end of today's session, we will be sharing the session plan. What you see, the screenshot of the first page of the session plan. This is developed from for all the sessions. So the time, date, everything is set. You know exactly which day, at what time do you have a session. Of course, timing is all Indian Standard Time, so you please adjust it accordingly. We have already requested you to update your email IDs. So Shibil has all your email IDs, and we are going to send you calendar invites. So if you are feeling lazy, don't worry, we are behind you. We will send the calendar invites. Just make sure you accept the calendar invite so that it will pop up in your calendar. There is only one change in this entire session plan, which is the next session, which was scheduled to be on Wednesday, will now be on Friday. So instead of meeting on 9th, as per the session plan, we will be meeting on 11th. So we have two sessions next week, one on 11th and one on 12th. So Friday and Saturday, that's the change. Of course, we will put it in the group as well. So we'll be sharing this, and all our sessions are 5:30 to 7 India Standard Time. So Mr. Ojha, we will be recording all the sessions. Immediately after the session, we will be sharing all the recordings. I will come to that as well. So in case you miss a session, you can always catch up. Next. So how do we go about this learning process? One, the study materials, they are of two categories. One is a lot of reading materials, a lot of videos we have compiled and put together module wise. That is made available to you. We will share the email, the password and login details right now with you. You can read them at your pace. So just follow the modules and keep reading. Whenever you find time, you can log in and read at your pace. Second, before a session, whatever videos we feel are absolutely mandatory for you to go through, we will put it on the WhatsApp group. And you must please go through those before you come to the class so that you are able to participate fully in the class. All our sessions are going to be 1.5 hour sessions, and we will use a combination of methods. One, we would bank heavily on the questions that you put in the Slido, that app. So that means that you've gone through some materials and you have some questions. You can place your questions there. We will be using those to guide the discussion. That is very useful for the speakers. We have some video-based case studies that we will have. We can have breakout rooms. We have panel discussions. So, and a lot of time for experience sharing so that we get an opportunity to learn from each other. We have also planned for 2 exhibitions, one for fecal sludge treatment plants, another for inclusive sanitation. So these are innovators who will come and show and exhibit, and you can ask questions, and all their contact details will be shared, and you can always continue your interaction with them. And of course, I spoke about the innovation workshop with you earlier. Next slide, please. So, so does anyone who's enrolled into the program get a certificate? The answer is no. So that's where we put on our teacher hat. Everybody will not clear the course. In fact, we received close to 200 applications, and after a thorough screening process, we have identified this cohort of 97 members, and we are so proud to have all of you here. But the course requires that you must firstly attend. So we will be capturing the attendance in every session, and Shibil will be reaching out to you saying your attendance is not up to mark. So you will get such messages from us. So please do make it a point to attend. There are marks for the innovation workshop because it's a group activity and you will be spending so much time and coming up with a presentation at the end of it. So there's marks for that. There will be 2 to 3 quizzes, very small MCQ based quizzes, just to sort of get us into that learning mode. And towards the end of the course, we expect that each of you has an action plan. It is nothing but one slide with a few bullets in terms of what is it that you intend to implement over the next 2 to 3 years. That is an action plan. And that becomes a base for us to continue our relationship with you, where we can come back and say that, listen, you said you were planning to do this. Did you really manage to do it? Did you face any hurdles? Can we support you? And that's how we sort of build a relationship. It's also a commitment from your side that having gone through this program, you really think you can implement a few initiatives. So this is broadly how we have structured the assessment. And people who meet all these requirements are the ones who get the certificate in this program. Next slide, Jyotsna. So as I mentioned, we have communication channel. There is a WhatsApp. So usually we use WhatsApp more for more like a one-way, although we can encourage two-way. It becomes very noisy for others because there are 97 of us. If all of us even start saying good morning, it's going to be lead to harassment. So what we try to do is that we keep WhatsApp more for information from ASCII team to you, so that it's clean and you know what to do. And any kind of information you need, you can reach out to us on our personal WhatsApp. Any discussion that you want to take up, you can start it in Slido. I'll show it in the next slide as well. We also have we keep taking your feedback or some course correction or some input. We use other tools like Menti. And of course, you have the email ID where you can reach out to for anything, absolutely anything at all. Next slide, please. So this is the Slido tool in case you haven't gone there. So if you see there, once you click on it, there is on the top this type your question. So you can just type your question there and send it, and we will respond to it, or others can respond to it. Suppose the question that you wanted to ask is already asked by someone, then you can just click on the like button, which will help us prioritize asking that question to the speaker. So before a session, this is a very useful tool. So whatever questions you have, we can just have them beforehand. We can share with the speakers. They can customize the session and come. So please do use this tool extensively. Next slide. This is the learning management system. This is where all the resources are kept available for you. They're all downloadable. Feel free to go through them and download, and Jyotsna will quickly take you through this as to how you should access this, how you can access this.
Sure, thank you, ma'am. So as already ma'am told, like we have collated a lot of material in different forms like case studies, geos, policies and all, and we have put together on the LMS platform. So to access this, you need to go to the course website, which is civils.ascii.org.in. We'll be sharing the link on the WhatsApp also. So here on the right corner, we have the login button. Click on the login button, and then you will be seeing the login page here where you need to type your username and password. So username will be your name itself, and password is common for all, which is cvis.ascii. And we will also be sharing the list of usernames and password on the WhatsApp group for easy access. So after entering your username and password, click on login. So you will be landing on the course page. So here on the left banner, we have all the modules listed and a welcome note, and the course schedule is also uploaded on the page. So you can access from here. And as I told, left side banner, you have all the modules. So click on any of the module and you will be seeing the details about the module, that is the course, the module coverage. So what all will be covering, and the schedule for the contact sessions when we have the sessions related to that particular module. And we have the learning material over here, which is mainly like we have presentation documents and case studies and policy documents and all, which are listed here. You can click on this and you can view the document and then read. And also, like, apart from these documents, we have also added a lot of additional readings. Like if anybody is interested and want to deep dive on any of the topic, you have also a set of additional readings which you can read it at your own pace. And we also have a calendar here on the LMS. So here we have listed all the contact sessions. So you'll be also receiving notification before the session on the LMS also. So here you can see like when is your next contact session and what is it about. The details about that can be viewed on the calendar. So when you click on a particular date, you will get the details of when the session will start and what the session is about. So this is about the LMS. So if you have any doubts also, you can reach out to us on our personal WhatsApp as well, and also email us. Thank you. Over to you.
And this we have already shared with you on the WhatsApp, but just to re-emphasize, I know it's not possible to get 100% attendance, but Mr. Mithilesh from the previous batch who spoke to you, he had 100% attendance and all submissions. He's our top star participant, and we hope we'll have many more of those in this batch. So please aim for 100% attendance, and we miss you. If we don't see you, we feel very sad. So please be there for all the sessions. Keep your videos on. We are going to start that video course and we'll collect money from you if you don't keep your video on. It's important to stay connected so that we can see you and stay connected. 5:30 India Standard Time is when we start. So please plan to be there around 5:20. Usually we play some interesting videos 15 minutes prior we start. By 5:15, we start playing some videos so you can enjoy the videos while you wait for everyone to start. We start on time. So if you join late, you will miss out. Do test your audio and videos before the session so that if you want to speak, you don't get inconvenienced. In case you are missing out a session, please do reach out to us, just as sir had reached out, Rajit sir had reached out, and we will ensure that you get access to the recording of the session and you can catch up on what had, unless it was a breakout room and we couldn't record it. If it's a lecture session or whatever, you will have access to it. Please look at all the pre-reads. Material is available on LMS. You can download it. You can read at your own pace. Listen attentively and please interact, have questions for the speakers. Group WhatsApp, we will keep discussion to minimal. We will use it more as information sharing from ASCII's side. Please be a good student, participate in all the quizzes and assignments. So we really want all of you to say I do. There are a lot of reaction tools also kept in WhatsApp. So please be generous, use thumbs up, use clapping, keep it like a classroom as to how it would have been if you were here in person with us. Next slide, Judson. So that's it from our side. We have a Twitter handle if you would like to share. We keep posting things, even today's session. What we'll do is we'll take a quick photograph now so that we can post it and we have it in our memory that this is our cohort 3's first session. All the videos from the previous cohorts are also available on this YouTube channel. So if you'd like to see any video, it's all open access. Please feel free to watch the videos there. There are session recordings which are made into smaller video bites so that it's munchable. And that's our email ID. Please feel free to reach out to us.